morning. We are on a walk. It is cloudy, but the weather is very nice. So I was gonna wash my hair this morning, but actually I started getting ready and realized I could stretch it a day further. So we're on day 5, but we're just making it work. So I didn't have to do that this morning. We made waffles and bacon, and I put the rest of that away and loaded the dishwasher, and it's running now while we're gone. And after our walk, I need to go to the bank, and we may pop in the thrift store, I don't know, or we may go to the park. And then we'll just catch back up with you when we get home.
Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie. Mommy.
Well, it's safe to say that I did not dress properly for the humidity today. Lesson to self, if you feel comfortable, like very comfortable when you leave your house, you're probably gonna feel hot when you get done with the walk. So I should have worn shorts, or at least a short sleeve shirt, because I am in a long shirt and leggings. So anyway, we came back to our car. We're gonna go to the thrift store, and then we will probably go to the bank and then go home and eat some lunch. Well, we are back home now. We had like a hodgepodge lunch, and I'm hoping to spend some really good time just outside hanging out. It feels really good out here, and you're not doing a strenuous walk. It's not like too hot or too humid. So I have several like outdoor projects that I would like to work on, and it's just nice to be outside anyway. So kids are playing. We've been working on cleaning out the garage and getting all the excess out. So we've been trying to get the garage kind of ready for summer, like sort of summarize it, if you will, and just kind of get all of the excess out, get the water table down from the attic, have the folding chairs so they're readily available for, you know, going to summer activities. Just having all those things like at the ready, and then also having the grills where there's not stuff piled on top of them. Brandon will admit he's not like a huge grill person, and as much as I would like for him to be, he's really not. So I might be interested in learning to use the grills a little more this summer. We have a gas grill and we have a charcoal grill. I know that charcoal gives a nice flavor, but I do also know that gas is a lot faster. So anyway, I want to have those where they're ready to use. Right now they're more or less just like storage units. There's stuff piled on top of them. So the first step has been to go through and figure out what things I was gonna sell, because I knew there were quite a few things. So one of them is this dog crate back here behind me. So we have 2 large dogs, and they sleep in the garage at night, and Claire sleeps in her crate. Jefferson wants nothing to do with a crate. He will only go in it if you just force him in there, and the whole time we've lived here, we've never used it. It's just been folded up. So there's really no use for it. So I've blown it off, gotten all the dust off, and now I'm just gonna spray it with the hose and let it dry, and then I'll list it for sale. Also, I'll walk over here to the garage and show you, there are 2 different double strollers, and we now use a side-by-side double stroller, so we really don't have a use for these anymore. All right, there we go. I had to up my brightness because I came in here and it's much darker. So this side of the garage has kind of become like the stuff that's going. So this is a project for my niece that I need to finish up and give to her. It's a little dog house for one of her stuffed animals. That we got a replacement for, so that's gonna be donated. And then these are the 2 strollers. So this one I actually bought first. I found it at our local thrift store when I was pregnant with Andy, and I bought it for $15, and I was so excited about it. And then I got to thinking about it, and I thought if we had one that held the car seat base while Andy was little, I think that would be so much more useful. So we really never used this. I gave it to my mother-in-law, and I don't really think she had much of a use for it, because when they walk, Abram rides his little battery-powered tractor. So I then bought this one off of Marketplace, and I might have gotten it for $25 or something. I'll have to look back at my records. But anyway, I think I mentioned that my cousin is expecting, so I cleaned this one all up. I cleaned them both up, and I'm giving this one to her to use because it really does work so well. And then the car seat can sit in here, and then once they get big enough, they can actually just sit right in that seat. The one that I'm selling, I swear it sold within like an hour or two of me putting it up on Marketplace. So I listed it for $30, which I felt like was reasonable because it doesn't have the car seat, so it can technically seat 2 kids, but that back seat is not really like a long sitting kind of seat. So I felt like $30 was a reasonable price, and you know, she jumped on it right away. So I was able to make $15 and get it out of our garage. So I'm going to meet her tonight to give her this stroller. And then if we come over here, this part actually goes with that crate. So I need to go, you can see it's all like gross. And then we have a couple of other wooden items over here. So the chair is something that used to be at my desk, and I had planned to get it down to its original state and then refinish it. And you can see I started, but I just never finished, and we just didn't really have a great place for it. So I like it, but it's sat in the garage way too long. And so I'm going to just wipe it down, clean it up, and just list it as a project piece as is, and we'll see what I can get out of it. This I bought as a project piece a long time ago, and actually the more I'm looking at it, I think I'm okay with the tone of the wood being just like it is. And I think instead of selling it, I think I'm going to put it in Abram's big boy room now that he has his own room, and put it down on the floor and put books in it next to his rocking chair. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw that project piece of a rocking chair, and if you haven't seen it, then I'll show it to you. It's definitely a project, but I was able to at least get it partially cleaned up, and I think that it's going to serve the purpose, and he's really happy about it. So it's after nap time now. I am cleaning the bathrooms. So I usually try to stick to a loose cleaning schedule. I'll put a video link below where I kind of talk about that. But if I can at least stick to that, sort of, then it sort of helps my days to go smoother, and then I don't wind up with things getting really grimy and yucky and then having to do this big deep clean. If I maintain that weekly schedule, then it's kind of quicker because, you know, I'm not having to do this deep scrub every time. Nap time was a little bit interesting. Abram usually doesn't take a nap anymore. And while I was putting Andy down, he came in to me and said that my phone made a noise and he was sort of acting kind of weird. Come to find out, he actually called 911. So we're gonna have to go through educating about that and teaching him how to dial things. You know, it's about the age where he really needs to know how to do that anyway, but I sort of got onto him about it, and then later on, you know, I said, sorry, I got so upset, you know, but it's very serious. We only call 911 when it's really an emergency. And I could tell he was rubbing his eyes. He was so tired. And so I laid with him, and within a few minutes he was asleep. And so anyway, kids are up. They each had half of a banana, and Abram is watching Frozen 2, and Andy's just hanging out here with me. As far as the cleaning routine for the bathroom, I'll kind of show you what I do. It's fairly simple. I use Norwex products, and then I use Thieves Cleaner just because, you know, they're more natural, and honestly, it's easier to kind of have like cloths and one cleaner for everything. I do currently use a toilet bowl cleaner that's just like a regular toilet bowl cleaner. But I've mentioned before, I follow The Lazy Genius, and in her podcast, when she talked about cleaning bathrooms, she talked about dusting everything first. And you can see my dusting mitt. Like, this is bathroom 3 of 3, plus I did through the living room and everything, so it's dusty. But dusting the bathroom first totally changes the game, because you don't have like when you're spraying a cleaner and then you have wet dust, and so it's just like these clumps of like matted dust. You don't get that. So I run over everything with the dusting mitt first. I'll do the mirror, I'll do the sinks, the counter, everything, and then I'll go to the toilet. I'll do the top, I'll do around like the lid. I don't go like, you know, the part that you would actually sit on. And then I go around the base of the toilet too, just with this. And then I come back and do the mirror and the countertop with these two. So if you're not familiar with Norwex, you use your EnviroCloth first and then you polish with this. And then as far as the toilet, I just spray the whole toilet down with thieves and then do a couple passes with a paper towel, and that's it. Mopping is on a different day, so I don't have to worry about that this day. So this day is really just dusting and bathrooms. So I should be able to move through this pretty quickly.
Our supper was delicious, and I ended up getting to resell that stroller after all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be talking to you next time.